Hello and welcome to Ultralight. My name is Tom, and in this video I'm going to give you 8 reasons why I chose to buy the Lanshan 1 XL over the Lanshan 1 Pro. So I can totally understand why somebody would buy the Lanshan Pro. 3FUL have done a really good job of cutting the weight as much as possible, and they got the Lanshan down to 690 grams, which is a really impressive weight. What 3FUL haven't necessarily pushed as much is the fact that the Lanshan 1 XL only weighs 760 grams, so only 70 grams than the Lanshan 1 Pro. And for a 70 gram extra, you get a lot of extra benefits, as I will share with you now. So the most obvious benefit of the Lanshan 1 XL over the Lanshan 1 Pro is price. You can pick this tent up for about £121, including VAT and postage. The cheapest I've seen, the Lanshan 1 Pro, is for £144. So this works out as almost £25 cheaper than the Lanshan 1 Pro. So that's my first reason for buying the Lanshan 1 XL. My second reason for buying the Lanshan 1 XL is the fact that the Lanshan 1 XL and the Lanshan 1 Pro come with a J-zip door on the inside. Now, I prefer a T-zip inner, and by having a separate inner, I have the option of replacing that with a T-zip, which 3FUL do actually make and sell separately. So that's my number 2 reason for buying the Lanshan 1 XL, is the fact that I can potentially swap the inner with a T-zip entrance and make the inner a lot more versatile. So my third reason for buying the XL over the Pro is condensation. Now, I understand that you're going to get condensation with a double skin tent and a single skin tent, but having a separate inner just gives you an extra barrier, stops the drips from getting onto your sleeping bag, and also you can feel when you're about to touch the sides, it prevents you from touching the sides, so you do get less condensation on your sleeping bags. The other thing is that I believe that the ventilation is better with a double skin tent. With the single skin Lanshan Pro, there's a mesh going all the way around the edge, which is going to restrict the airflow a little bit on the outer, so there is a chance of getting actually more condensation in the Lanshan 1 Pro. So that's my third reason for going for the XL over the Pro. So my fourth reason for getting the XL over the Pro is the fact that the inner tent is removable. I can take this inner tent and I can use it with other tents, like my Mountain Laurel Designs Trail Star or my Mountain Laurel Designs Cricket. So essentially I've got 2 pieces of gear here. I've got the Lanshan XL, and I've also got an inner tent that I can use with other tents. So it gives me that extra versatility and also extra value for money. So the fifth reason I went for the XL is the fact that I can use the outer tent on its own as a ultralight single skin shelter. The outer tent on its own weighs 425 grams, so 225 grams less than the Lanshan Pro, and I can potentially use it with a polycro ground sheet, which weighs very, very little, or I can use it with the 3FUL bathtub sheet that I've also got, which I believe weighs 175 grams and fits quite nicely inside this tent. And I'm going to do a few little tweaks and adjustments to that bathtub to make sure it fits just right. So that is my fifth reason, is the fact that I can use the outer on its own to make it ultra light. So the sixth reason I went for the XL over the Pro is the fact that the XL comes with taped seams. The XL is a polyurethane and silicone tent. It uses polyurethane on the inside and silicone on the outside, whereas the Lanshan Pro to cut weight is using a double silicone fabric, which means that you do have to seal the seams yourself. So the seamed seals is my 6th reason for going for the XL. My 7th reason for going for the XL is the fact that I can swap the inners. So at the moment I'm using a 3-season inner, a mesh inner, but I can potentially swap it when it's colder for a 4-season inner. So it's got the versatility to swap between a 3-season and a 4-season. So that extra versatility, being able to swap the inners, is my 7th reason for buying the XL over the Pro. And finally, my 8th reason for buying the XL over the Pro is the fact that when it comes to packing up the tent, if there's a lot of condensation or the outer tent is very, very wet, I can potentially take down the inner tent and pack it separately from the outer tent so that the bathtub and the mesh stay as dry as possible, so that when I pitch it again, I can potentially keep the inner tent dry. Whereas with the Pro, that isn't something I'll be able to do. The inner and the outer are going to have to be packed up together, so the whole tent is going to be very wet. Anyway, I hope that helps, and maybe if you're trying to make the decision to buy the Pro or the XL, hopefully I've given you some advice. I'm sure the Pro is an absolutely fantastic tent, and if anybody's got the Pro and rates it over the XL, then please leave your comments below. Thanks for watching Adventure Light. See you in my next video.